why young people are more depressed than ever before, and use a picture of a busty young woman, probably in her 20s, to illustrate your video. Yeah, sure. Hey everybody, welcome to the very first edition of The Ad Break, the show all about ads and continuity from the US and elsewhere, all over the world, basically. I'm Benzie Johnson Jr., your guide through this whole mess, and you'd never really think about advertising and continuity when you watch television channels, but as the great Apple Mask explained in his series of a similar topic, The Hard Sell, the very first edition of that.
Adverts are like a social history. Take a look at any commercial break from any given year and you'll see where we were as a society. What we thought, what we were being told to think, what we wanted, and what we were being told to want. By being pitched squarely at the collective id of a society of millions, adverts are the perfect way to learn something of our own psychological history. Or maybe it's just a way to spend 15 minutes in slightly more entertaining a fashion than smacking yourself in the face with a brick.
And hence why ads are so special and important. Let's find a fairly recent commercial break, because that's where I'd like to start. I like to start with something I know, and then I'd like to start with like somewhere I know that's like really recent, and then go into something else. Alright, let's go to the date, December 29th, 2013. The time, likely sometime in the early afternoon, between, say, 2 and 4 p.m. Eastern. The channel, Nickelodeon, because that's all I could reasonably find from what I was searching. And now, let's start this video.
Nickelodeon's Winter Break Block Party is on.
Now, 2013, for those of you who don't know, 2013 was sort of the come-down phase of the SpongeBob apocalypse that was Nickelodeon's schedule earlier this decade. So, to see something like that, I'm not surprised.
So get ready for a snowdown with back-to-back episodes of SpongeBob SquarePants.
Are you with me?
I think so.
And catch hilarious Nick Shorts. The SpongeBob SquarePants Winter Block continues this afternoon at 4.
Now, this is a 2013-ish item. Like a really of the era. Like, fully... I forget. It was part of a series. There were a series of items under this particular theme. So we go out on one of those and into the break.
Tide Pods 3-in-1 detergent.
Ah, yes, Tide Pods. Back in the beginning, before they were a meme that Tide then had to, actually respond to.
And pop in the drum of any machine to wash any size load.
Any size load, you say?
Any size load. It dissolves in any temperature, even cold.
It's really like just, your traditional, your typical modern laundry detergent lifestyle homeware product commercial aimed at women, like poppy music, background that exists, it's nothing terribly unusual.
Tide Pods. Pop in, stand out.
Enjoy the sights. Thanks, Your Highness.
In a real car, always wear your seatbelt. Yes, because that needs to be said.
Look, a red milk snake.
Is she having a baby?
I think she's having a frog.
This is an ad for Goldfish, the snack that smiles back. And for the past several years, they've been running basically the same campaign. where it's just been various adventures of the fish. It's been running since like what? So long, to be honest. I don't even remember. Like definitely like the majority of this decade. And previously, you could actually like decide on what the next ad was going. Like they had like very. I'll just play the ad actually.
There it is, the rainbow making machine. It's how they make rainbows.
Even the ones in the sky?
Cha, it's just a bigger machine.
To be fair, he's not wrong.
Whoa, they don't have that under the bed.
What happens next? You can decide at goldfishfun.com.
Back at around this time, they actually allowed people to decide what the next ad was going to be in the campaign. So you could go online to goldfishfun.com and you could actually, I guess, decide. I never participated, but you could probably decide what the next ad of theirs was going to be. Nowadays, you can only just play a game. It's, play what's-his-face's so-and-so dream at goldfishfun.com. Also, this is before they changed they changed how they did the snack that smiles back, the jingle at the end. Because now it's a different guy and it's done a different way.
The snack that smiles back. Goldfish. Holy macadamia!
For those of you who are not from America and have not had to deal with this, The Nut Job is a very meme-worthy movie released in 2014. Very early 2014. That I've never seen it, but it's just like it's one of those movies that it's bad enough to be a meme. However, it did end up getting a sequel later on, The Nut Job 2: Nutty by Nature. This whole movie is like an innuendo. The Nut Job, come on, nut.
One store stash.
Also, I personally, as someone who has watched Maury, I find it funny that they named it Maury's Nut Shop. For the people who brought you the Nutshack, it's the Nut Shop.
Is this squirrel's treasure? On January 17th, we get a crew, we break in, and feed the park for winter. Amazing!
Ah yes, Gangnam Style. Because that's not already like a year or two out of date. You know.
No job is too crazy.
Don't be weird.
No hero is too small. She's in my underwear. And no team is too nuts.
Look at this thing. This is crazy. Woo, woo, woo. Has a mind of its own.
A twerking pug, because sure. It's very of its time.
The Nut Job, rated PG, January 17th.
Here come the Hexbugs.
Hexbug is a series of toys initially launched as bugs, but they're like small electronics. Again, a thing I don't really know how to explain, but they wriggle around all over the place, as you see in this ad, and you can like buy ones where they go up tracks and go through loop-de-loops and blow like Zuzu pets or something.
Run so fast, he clickety-clacks, 5 amazing colors. On his own flips over and back. Here comes the Scarab.
Here selling particularly the Scarab edition, set to Pop Goes the Weasel, because that's what they did back at that time.
Each sold separately.
Nationwide Insurance is an American insurance company, and they, at the time, were relaunching the bird N logo you see on the flag to replace the square thing logo that they had previously, which you'll see throughout the rest of the ad.
In the nation, what's precious to you is precious to us. So when coverage really counts, count on Nationwide Insurance.
I treat my Dodge Challenger like a big baby. Because, you know, regular-sized babies weren't hard enough to handle. You know, just regular-sized babies are good enough.
We put Put members first. Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
Babies as metaphors for cars. I'm not like it's like that male. It's like that really male skewing kind of idea. You're like, my car is my baby. I'll never replace Brad. That sort of thing. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, also known by other names in other countries, is a square-shaped cinnamon breakfast cereal. And for the past number of years, including up to today, they've had a particular campaign running, which consists of the squares, running around and eventually eating each other. This was from the initial run of that campaign when they were in the bowl. The squares characters are actually like cute, but also deadly.
It's all that cinnamon and sugar that makes those crunchy little squares so irresistible. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, part of this good breakfast. Crave those crazy squares.
It's Twinkle Toes, starring in her first game. It's Twinkle Smash from Skechers.
Oh, lordy lordy. Twinkle Toes, yet another line of Skechers shoe products. Twinkle Toes. They were basically like bedazzled Skechers, if that makes any sense. And apparently they had a game, a match 3 game, because, Bejeweled didn't already cover that.
Smash 3 or more gems and collect shoes, power-ups, and more. It's free to play on Android, iPhone, and iPad. Ask a parent for permission before going online.
Yeah, sure. You know what? Collect shoes, though. Like what? You're trying to make them a sneakerhead? So young?
Twinkle Smash from Skechers.
Welcome to the Nick app. Oh no, wait, don't touch. Moving on. This is a ginormous grid of everything Nick, with your brand new videos and stars doing all kinds of wild, weird, make you laugh till you snort stuff just for you.
Oh, come on!
You see this Nick over here? This is where you can catch up with all of your favorite characters, full episodes, and really cool games. And new stuff is added all the time. You wouldn't want to miss something like this, would you?
Look, it's the iDubbbz meme, but 5 years earlier.
So go check out the free Nick app now.
Anyway, this is a very early version of the Nick app. Eventually, they basically copied this onto the website, and then changed the arrangement from horizontal to vertical, which I personally liked, just as a general usability idea. Maybe not have it horizontal and really shitty to navigate. Just saying.
All right. And now, the prank call master.
Poof Panties edition. That sounds dirty, Nickelodeon. You should know that. That sounds really dirty. I don't want to see poof panties. I'll leave that to the darker corners of the internet. Thank you.
I am the master of prank phone calls. I'll just pick a random number here.
Hello.
Yes. Would you like to purchase a pair of inflatable underpants?
Yeah, the one with square pants.
Indeed. They're called poof panties.
Oh, that's nice.
Poof panties.
Sounds dangerous.
Poof panties.
Yeah.
They're called poof panties.
I left my phone on pinch mode. It's a thing.
They're called poof panties.
Say that 5 times fast.
Poof panties. Poof panties.
Really? That's the best name you could come up with?
It's like kind of obvious that they had to actually insert a semi-animated phone into the last 2 scenes there. It's like, you're not slick, Nick. To be fair, it did kind of look a little better in the Fairly OddParents scene, but they needed to do the floaty thing. And also not have it cut over the freaking over Poof himself. Like, really obvious bad editing.
For crying out loud, we named our kid Poof! We can learn so much from her.
And that was the prank call master.
To be fair, Sam Puckett is probably a master of prank calls. I would not put it past her. Really wouldn't.
Sanjay and Craig.
Hey, look, it's Sanjay and Craig, back when Nickelodeon cared. I'm sorry, I'm really salty about Sanjay and Craig because I liked Sanjay and Craig, and if anyone knows how Nick has treated their things in their schedule in recent years, it didn't end too well. I mean, I think it ultimately did end on the network, but it still got burnt, which I'm not a fan of. But this is a really like 13, 14 age bumper. Surprised it's not holiday themed, to be honest, given it's December 29th. But anyway, that was a whole break. How about that? Alright, I think that's enough commercial breaks to actually get the format down. Thank you for watching. Thanks to the people who uploaded these on YouTube originally. I have links to the original videos in the descriptions. I picked kids channels because apparently that's the easiest thing I can grab off of YouTube. So, that touches something. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Peace out. No, I'm not gonna. I don't have a solid intro or outro yet. Rather, I don't have either. To be fair, why am I saying advert? I'm not British. I've watched like 8 episodes of The Hard Sell in the nights leading up to recording this, so maybe that's why.